Okay, I just wanted to do a quick video of my current heating and hot water system ahead of my installation of a new boiler by Heatable next week. So just to show you the state of play and what I've been working with. So been in this property nearly 2 years now, and the boiler I have at the moment is a Potterton. It's a Potterton Suprema, and I believe this boiler was or has been installed since construction of this property. So this property was built in 2003, so that means this boiler is at least 20 years old. And it served me well in the 2 years I've been here, but it was something that really the second I moved in, I knew this would be the first major sort of replacement task of the house due to the age, and also I've had some reliability problems with this boiler. It seems to have an intermittent fault where it enters an error state, and every so often you have to press the reset button. So it's been manageable for me, but it's getting to the point where I'm in the position where I think it's time to do the replacement. So what I have is this traditional boiler. So it's a normal non-condensing gas boiler. And one of the first things I did when I moved into the property was replace the traditional programmer with a couple of smart relays so they can integrate to my home assistant system. So these are two Shelly relays. I think they're the Shelly ones. So they're the original generation Shelly Wi-Fi relays. And I've just taken the cover off here so you could see what's under the hood. But what was here originally was a small single back box, which a sort of traditional heating and hot water programmer was wired into, and I just removed that and replaced it with the relays. The other thing I also had done is removed the central thermostat, because these relays are being actioned directly by Home Assistant, which has access to temperature sensors for all the individual rooms. So yeah, that's just a quick view of the boiler location. You'll notice the door is off of the cupboard here, and that's because the replacement boiler that I'm having fitted by Heatable next week is a Viessmann's Viessmann 050W, and because of the way that the installation needs to work here, the final depth of that will be actually above or further out than this cabinet, so the door wouldn't close if I were to put that back on. So there'll be a little bit of remedial work for me here to maybe modify the cabinet and put the door back on, but for the time being I'm trying to keep it easy for the installer, so I've made as much space as possible. The incoming gas supply is under the boiler here, and the flow and return pipe work to the cylinder cupboard is at the top. So I've been told they'll have to install a rear pipework mounting kit, so effectively the flow and return will run behind the new boiler and then underneath into the connections below. And then of course this boiler will then need a cold water supply and a feed out for the hot water, because that's now instantaneous in combi boiler format and will no longer come from the cylinder cupboard. So luckily for me, my sink and actually my incoming cold water is under the kitchen sink here, so that should be relatively easy. And there's also a 15mm hot water pipe here as well. So the plan is that there's a small void behind this cupboard here. Hopefully via that access, the engineer should be able to poke up in the corner here to run the new cold water feed, the hot water feed out. And I suppose also there'll be a condensate drain, so I'm imagining they'll take that down through the countertop and perhaps also put that in the existing drainage here. The gas meter for the property is directly behind this window, so if the existing gas supply is not sufficient, I think it's a 15mm supply at the moment, I'm imagining they'll probably externally take a new gas line out and then maybe punch that through the wall there. But I'll briefly run upstairs and I'll show you what the current situation is with the cylinder cupboard too. Okay, we're at the cylinder cupboard, and again I would say this is relatively typical installation for a property of this size and also this age. So it's a unvented hot water system, so you can see expansion vessels here for hot water and heating. we have a zone valve here for the heating system, a zone valve for the hot water, and a circulation pump. So as part of the switch from a cylinder-based system to a combi, effectively almost everything in this cupboard will be removed. The only thing that will remain, of course, is the main, where are they, flow and return from the boiler here. And also, because the main pipes for the heating system are in here as well, I imagine effectively those two will just be connected directly together, and the rest of the pipework in here can be deleted. So effectively redundant pipework is the hot water feed out from the cylinder, because that will be replaced directly with the hot water coming out of the combi. The mains cold water in, so this replenishes the supply to the cylinder before it gets heated by the coil. And there's a I don't know what you would call it, I suppose a condensate, or not a condensate, a pressure relief drain here for the various pressure relief systems for the tank, so that in the event of the tank being over pressurized, this would allow that pressure to release via the tundish, and then that excess water would go down, and there's actually a drain on my driveway outside the property. So as you can see, there'll be quite a lot of space that I'll get back from the migration to a combi boiler, so I'm really looking forward to that. And also all of this wiring will be removed as well, because effectively all of the wiring will be directly by the boiler. I've opted for the Viessmann because it's one of the few open therm compatible boilers that Heatable offer as part of their fixed price installation. So no longer will my heating system be on-off controlled. It'll actually be modulated by open therm. So it's simpler from an installation point of view, and the aim is that it should be more efficient from a heating point of view as well. So it's a very brief overview of the system I have at the moment, and I aim to do another video once the installation of the system from Heatable is has been completed as well. So stay tuned for more information.